friends, welcome to Aisha's DIY. Today we are going to design another necklace with the Sam Bead Box subscription for the month of March 2022. And I know it's like my bead mat is scattered with so many different beads, and also the fact that I really want to do something which is a little bit more, I don't know, more boho and at the same time asymmetrical. So that's what I want to do. And when you are figuring it out asymmetrical, it's a little bit difficult. I feel that way. But if it is symmetrical, it will be a little bit more easy for me. But I really want this asymmetrical. We have this beautiful uncut beads. I mean, not uncut, but not polished, faceted. It's very raw, right? So, and also these ones. We have 3 of these and 3 of these. So I wanted to use it randomly, not in a precise pattern. Little bit of asymmetry and symmetry will be in together in this necklace is what I think. And I want to use all this big chunky beads that we got in the box in one necklace. I don't know why I feel that way, but I do feel that. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And I have some Ceylon here. This is regular Ceylon, not the fine or the micro Ceylon. This is the regular Ceylon that I have, or Eslon, you can call whichever you want. So this one I'm going to take a couple of feet, and I also have this 2 strand clasp, copper clasp from my stash. You don't have to use this clasp, you can actually skip the clasp part, but I really wanted something to anchor, and I'm gonna cut myself about say 10 feet. I know it's a little bit too much, but you guys know I like to work with more cord than less. That's 3, that's 4, that's 5, and then I double it up. So that's how I usually do. So 10 feet of Ceylon, because we are going to double it up, make it into 5 feet long, so that we have enough to work with and not stuff. So I did cut it, and I'm going to start the outer strand because I'm pretty much sure what I want the outer strand to be. So at this face beads, it is a little bit a tough decision for me to make. Let's just get started. There is 10 feet of cord. I fold it into half, and this is the middle of that 10 feet. So I add this 10 feet here, not in the slope, okay? I add this 10 feet here, okay? And then bring the 2 ends through that loop. And that's a lark side knot, as you guys already know. So this is what it is, right? So I got that secured, and now I want to start adding beads to it, and I want this to be this side of the necklace, right? This side of the necklace. So I start from here. So what I do is take these 2 ends. There is one more step that we need to do with Ceylon. Ceylon is it's a twisted cord. So you take these 2 ends and apply glue to this 2 ends and stiffen these ends up. So that will give you a nice stiff end to work with. So I take my GS Hyper Cement and then take a paper, a scrap paper. Sorry, it's just something that my daughter wrote, but I keep this notepad on my desk and she comes and writes something or draws something for me. Okay, and take this end. There we go. So I did put my glue there. Now I will close my GSI cement and let the glue dry so that the ends become stiff for me to work with the beads. So you can also do this with your fingers or mostly with the paper. That way the excess glue is off and it's nice and straight, stiff. Let's see how stiff it gets. Let it dry and I'll be back. So I start taking these cords, take one cord, and then I want to actually thread in a couple of beads and see which one I want to go ahead with. First I will thread in this melon bead in one of the strand. I don't know if both will go. If it does, then that's a good thing, but let's see. I think it's very hard. So what I will do is just put one bead and bring it all the way down, just like so. Okay, so and then the other cord will be like this, and then go ahead and tie in over here, not with both cord together. I want the knot to be right next to the bead. Okay, so but it won't be very close. As you can see, one has thread, one has bead, so it won't be very close. So I want it to be as close as possible. Can you see that? So after this we started off, right? So after this we need to figure out a pattern, not a pattern, to include the blues and the browns at some point. So I want to take my cord and try stringing. First I want to take this face kind of a bead, and then first blue he she type, and the face and the blue he she type, and the face and the blue he she and the face. So just want to see how good this looks. Okay, I haven't knotted or anything, but I want to see how good this looks. And after that, in the same cord, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add this roundel bead, which I really loved. As I told in the unboxing video itself, I really like this. So I want to use this bead and see which one looks good. Still I'm not able to contemplate even after putting it right next to each other. I wasn't sure which one I want to do. So what I will do is I will physically string and check which one is good. That's what I'm doing right now. And also I don't want to disturb this pattern of mine, so I just move this like this and see how good this looks. I feel that I really like this one than this blue right here. even though I'm planning to use this blue just to give it a little bit more color to this thing, to this necklace, I like this one better. Now I know for sure. So I take all of these down off the cord. It's a long cord. Wow. So this, as you can see, you have two cords, right? So it looks like on the right side cord there's a bead, and on the left side it's plain. So now I will start with the left cord and then add a bead, which is, the roundel. And then let me try. I'll try with each and every bead whether it will accommodate two cords or not, but I will not stress myself. If it doesn't, I can do the one that I did with the melon bead. But if it does, that's a different angle to look at the thing. It does. Voila. So now I take the two cords and I add it here and then tie an overhand knot with both cords. Take it. I'm just doing hand knotting, as you guys can have seen me doing 1,000 times with Chinese knotting cord. That's what I'm doing it with this also. See this? That's nice right there. Okay, this is the way. The lock's head knot and the beads. So now that is there, right? It comes on and off, and you can go through two beads and then separate, go through two, separate, that kind of a thing. So now I'll take this one right here and try the same. So I'm going to keep the face like this, right? So I'm going from the head to the bottom of this bead, and I'm sure that two cords won't go through here. So what I'm going to do also, because it's a flat bead, it's nice and easy for us to do this. So take these two, right? Okay, go ahead and tie a knot. See, the one cord is coming in the back. I want that. Overhand knot, make a loop, take the cord in through. So you can also do this. You can put your tweezer, if you have tweezers, you can just hold this part right next to the bead and bring your knot closer to that, and then leave it and tighten it. Don't have to be exactly like the knotted bracelet or the necklace that we do, but that's what it is. Right now we are going to add the roundel beads. The roundel beads, as you guys can see, it goes through both the cords nicely. I take this, I add it, there we go, to both cords, bring it down, and then make a knot. Take that, tighten that up, hold the knot and pull. That's tight. Now you can also tighten it by pulling these cords on either side. Now look at it. So one cord is coming on top, So that cord I will take it and add the face bead again. Bring it down. Okay. And take the other cord which is coming in the back and go ahead and tie an overhand knot. Bring it close, as close as possible, and then you can keep it down and then use your pliers and push the knot towards that. Also you can do is separate these two cords and tighten that knot. See how it's starting to form. I really like how it's turning out to be. Now again our roundel bead, right? So I'm planning to add I'm going to have one for at that angle, so I'm just going to use 5 of these faces for this. So then the roundel on both the cords. I need both cords because when I come here with the bigger beads, if I put knot with just one cord of the seal on, it's not going to cut it. The knot is going to come through. I checked it already, so that's the reason I'm going for 2 cords, and this roundel tends to accommodate 2, so which is a nice thing. And now I just want to lay this flat and see this cord, one is coming on top of another. I'll take the top cord and then add the face bead. And again I'm adding from the head to the mouth, that direction. Bring it down. Okay, take the other cord, bring it behind the bead and tie an overhand knot. Pull the thread individually, and also you can tighten it this way. Now we have this. Next, so I'll do 5 sets of this and come back. We have these table cut beads, so I'm gonna add one of that. I did finish the 5 sets. Now I'm gonna add one of that. Let me see if 2 cords of this goes through, which it does so comfortably, and I'm so happy if it goes comfortably, you know. Don't want to force beads through. I did it with Chinese knotting cord. It was very painful. So I just do an overhand knot, just make a loop and pull your cords through, and you have a knot. Just bring that knot close to the bead as possible and pull it tight. Then you can pull it individually also, and you can tighten it by pulling it apart also. So that's being set. I want to add this crackle bead. It's just nice. It's good to have the crackle bead as well, but the crackle bead has a small hole. Let me see if that does go through. No, it doesn't. So I just put one one cord through and then take the other cord outside. Right, and then just tie an overhand knot. There we go. So now I'm going to add this elongated spacer from my stash. I know I would like to break this pattern with a different shape because I'm going to add about, say, an oval shape, but I couldn't find anything else which suits, which doesn't have a big hole at the same time, which doesn't have a tiny hole that it can't fit through two of the cords. So I ended up doing this, and now let's see if it goes through. And then even if the knot goes through it, I am not worried about it because anyways it's gonna be tight, that much I know for sure. Make sure your seal-on doesn't get tangled. It's much better. I would say. Design wise, I don't know if it is a good one to do, but throwing in some metal elements is always a good thing, so I would go ahead with it. Okay, that just kind of jumped on me, making sure my knot should end up there. I'll just hold this cord up here and then pull it right here and then push the knot towards the bead, and that's good enough. Now I will add one more of the spacer bead. Tie an overhand knot. Separate it and tighten it, and we have started this. And now I need to figure this out. So add this, just the blues, because this is like this, it will not sit properly right next to it. So I will just add the sparkle bead, and again I will just keep my necklace in the pattern I want and figure out which cord comes on top, and then add the sparkle bead, the crackle bead, not the sparkle, the crackle bead. So just onto one of the seal on. Okay, it's finding hard to pull through. I wonder why. Let me take another crackle bead. There we go. This one wasn't so hard. Bring it down, take the two cords and tie an overhand knot just like that. And now what I'm going to go ahead and do is, here it is a little bit tight. When it came here, it's a little bit loose. So I will work on my knots again and I will come back. So now I'm going to add this bead right here as my first bead, trying to put the two cords in. If not, also it's not a big deal, we can do it the other way we did, but it just fell off. Take the next one and let's try. No, it won't. So no problem, we just put this in, right? making sure it comes like that. So this necklace is going to be like this. Always keep it in this format, so we know for sure which look we are going to go towards, and then go ahead and tie an overhand knot with both cords. And there we go. Now again, take one cord and put the crackle bead. And tie an overhand knot. Separate it and tighten it. So this is where we are. I'm gonna add these three as well. Then I'm gonna work on some, and I'm gonna add this bead. So I will add the copper elements, and then I will work on some blues. So I'll continue knotting this way, and let me see what pattern I come up with. So I have knotted this much, as you guys can see. This is how much I have knotted, and then I wanted to, and this is about, say, 13 inches. Okay, I wanted to do the inner strand as well simultaneously, because the beads from the box, I just want to make sure I use it economically and save it for both the strands. So I cut myself again 9 feet of ceylon, and I just you have to fold it into half as we did for the other, and I want to start the inner strand as well and then continue with it. Since we are knotting, we don't even have to put the stopper bead here to stop our beads from falling, so that's a very good one. Just put the loop inside, hold it, take the two ends, okay, and put it through this loop. There we go, our lock side knot is done and ready. So now we can start stringing this this part of the necklace, the inner part of the necklace. And again, you have to actually work on the ends, put some glue and make it stiff so that it's ready for stringing. And first I'm going to start with a blue color bead here, just because we didn't start with the blue over there. See this ends, I need to actually put the glue in and stiffen this up. Now that our ends are dry a bit, we can start stringing our beads. So the second strand right here, so the first one I want to start with the blue bead. So what I'm thinking, maybe not, maybe somewhere here I will start because I just don't want to take away this the focus on this guy right here. So what I'm gonna do, anyways, that's okay, I guess. Take my strand and start with this roundel. The roundel, we are putting it through both the cords. It's not going through, just insert a hairpin through it. I should have taken a little bit of glue outside. That's the thing, I didn't do it properly. Okay, maybe another roundel. This one first, and then I'll try the other cord. So there we go. So there it goes. Now I will go ahead and do a knot. There we go. So now I started pretty much the same. Now I am going to actually do this face bead instead of this one, and I'm going to knot it and then continue my pattern. So I have here this is my outer strand, and my inner strand I have worked up till here. I added 2 of these face beads separated by the roundels, and then I continued the he-she beads and the 8mm, and then I added 1 of the face bead, and then I'm back to the roundel, back to the crackle bead. Then I'm going to add this one, but the hole of this is quite big, not like the triangle ones. It's humongous, as you can see. So what I'm going to do here is to either add a metallic bead, which is going to be this, or something else to block that hole, because it's not gonna sit properly. I even thought I will do a double knot. I did 1 knot, then I can go ahead and do another knot on top of this, which will be exactly like going ahead. And this is why we need as much cord as possible if you want to do any more of the knots. So it's good to have more cord. So you can just see this, how I landed it on top of the other knot. That way this knot will be big enough. Let's see if it stops that big hole or not. As you can see, it did. So that's a good thing. So we can continue with our pattern. Then I'm gonna add one crackle bead. Let me try another crackle bead. I just don't want to lose the glue that's on this. There we go. I'm just going to put it on one of the cord. Okay, before that we need to put a knot. I completely forgot about that. So let this hang on the side. I'm just going to go ahead, have this in the thread itself so that I don't have to thread it all over again. But you know what, I can do it all over again too if I want to. But let me just try this one time with the bead itself. There we go. Put the knot right next to the bead. So put your tweezers or tweezer nose pliers, whichever you want. There we go. And then bring it all the way down and just then tighten that up, right? And now, and as you can see, it can slide. So we are going to do a knot on top of that the same way. Take the two cords through. So just be careful here. We want the knot to land on top of the existing knot. See how I am going to cinch it slowly, and then pull it tight. That way you have a much bigger knot. So now add the crackle bead. So if I keep this here, this one is coming right over before the copper jasper bead, coffee jasper, so that this comes here and this comes here and this comes here, because I don't want the coffee jasper to overlap in this design. So that's right. Go ahead and make a knot. You can tighten your knot by pulling it apart, and then there we go. Then we can do is we can add again a humongous of this rough unpolished bead. Okay, as you can see, the pathway is not very straightforward. So you hold the other one, then take this one. Right there. See this, it's going up again. So I forgot to make one more knot again. So that's okay. We can do it right now with the bead itself. It's not a big deal. So now go ahead and tighten the knot. Make sure the knot lands on top of the existing knot. That is the only way you will get a bulkier knot, otherwise it will be right next to each other. So make sure that doesn't happen. Now add this bead. Take one cord and add a crackle bead right now. Just want to trim my cord a bit. There we go. Now hold these two together and go ahead and tie a knot. Nice and tight. And then what we can do is add our metallic bead to both the cords. Tie an overhand knot again. There we go. And then I'm gonna add this coffee jasper again, the big one. Make an overhand knot. Hi friends, I finished this necklace almost. Only a little bit left, as you guys can see. This is the pattern I followed, and I started here and then I added this. See how asymmetrical this necklace is. I want this to be here. There is 2 of this coffee jasper in this, and then 2, and I added the 3 here, but I scattered this 2 here. And then after that I followed this pattern. I took the melon beads, the he-she beads, and then the melon beads won't go through, the cord won't go through the melon beads, 2 cords won't go through, so I just did 1. And this he-she beads was big enough hole, had a big enough hole, which let me pass through 2 cords, and so as this 8mm beads. Then I continued with some 8mm in the he-she. It's just random, but I did section by section. So here there is 4 of the melon beads, and then I repeated the 4 here as well, right? And then let me show you guys like this. There we go. So the 4 melon beads, and then a section of this, and then 4 melon beads and he-she beads. And then in this necklace, in this inner strand, I continued with this check clasp bead and the happy face, and I also did that. That wouldn't accommodate 2 cords, so 1 cord is going that way, and I continued pretty much for a long distance. And then what I did in the back, I don't want a chunkier or a bulkier one, but I still wanted to match the front of the necklace, so I took this crackle beads, which was the one which we didn't repeat more in the back, and then some browns. So I took the bicones and the melon beads. So both of them are same. These two strands are same here. The crackle bead, the bicone, melon, and the crackle bead. So this is a pattern which I did 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 of these. So that I did. Here I did 4 sections of those, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the same thing, right? Because I wanted this to be nice and subtle on the back of my neck, and same time the cords are coming out of these beads, all of these beads. So that's why it's like this. And then it comes, you can do 2 ways. So that's the reason I actually added this. This necklace is long enough to go over my neck, but it wouldn't be the same for every other person. So I changed my mind to add the clasp, the other end of the clasp. Or else what you can do is you can actually take these 2 cords and bring it into the loop and go back and then make a knot, big knot, and that should be done. And this necklace is like this. This is just a connector. But if you want to utilize the clasp, what I want to do is bring these 2 larkset knot over this side of the necklace, okay? And then this will change this, okay, right? This also gives enough gap for these 2 strands, which I really like it, so I want to do it this way. And these loops, we are going to add some cords to it. If you can see, I had 10 feet of seal-on for the outer circle and 9 feet of the seal-on for the inner circle, and I have only this much left, which is perfect. So what I'm going to do here is I want these 2 strands to come like this. So that's perfect. I'm going to take the other end of the clasp, right? And then take one end of the clasp, 2 cords, and put it inside this loop, okay? And then bring it around and then make a knot. See this? Just bring this loop around, go around here. So this loop, I wanted it on top of the loop that I already did after the crackle bead. Bring it like that. Make sure it's nice and tight. And knot it. So go again one more time around the knot. Bring your 2 cords. Go through the loop. And then pull it tight. Okay, that's a knot, nice and secure. And I would do is I would just put it one more time into that loop of mine, because it's a heavy necklace, and if it was macrame, I would have done macrame on top, but I knotted this bracelet completely, so I don't want to bring one more element to confuse you guys. So I add these again through that loop, bring those down, okay, and bring it around like this, and then tie a knot over here, knot with these 2 cords going across. It looks a little bit chunkier, but I want this to be a little bit chunky. surgeon's knot, which is going through the loop twice, and there we go. So now I would put a dab of GS Hypo Cement on the knot in the front and the back and let it sit for 24 hours before I would use this. So let's do the next one as well. Take these two cords and go through the second loop of these. Bring it down. Right. Go through this. Let me just take care of these. I'll just put a plier on top so that it doesn't come in the way. So go ahead and tie an overhand knot. When you do tie the knot, just bring it closer and closer, and on top of the previous knot that we did with the melon bead. Just bring it up close, and there we go. We have our knot. So then now you can actually, now that is done, again I would do is tighten that up nicely. Take the cord one more time around and about inside the loop. Bring it around and then knot it one more time right next to the melon bead. Just sure the knot lands where it is supposed to land, right? There we go. Tighten that up. You can also take this around and then separate these two cords and tie a surgeon's knot. There we go. So now that is done, I would put glue and then let this sit for about 24 to 48 hours, and then only I will attempt to put this necklace on or try it on or anything. Sorry, I'm bumping the camera. Let me just be clear here. Take my piece of paper and then dab the glue generously on top of this knot. Saturate this knot with glue because we want it to be strong, and then close it. As I said, let it go. If not for the video, I would not cut the ends, but I'm just going to cut it like this, not close but leaving. See, the cord was like perfect. So 9 feet it is. Now one more thing I want to do is this right here. the loop right here in the middle. I'm going to take a piece which is a little bit longer here from the project that we did. We cut it, right? So I'm going to take this here, put it in here, right? Take that loop, and that's a lock set knot. Then what I'm going to do is take this bead and then okay, I don't want to add this bead here. I would add something which goes through both. No, this bead is not in this project, but this is some kind of a bead I would like to go through both. Maybe this one and the blue one, or you can just leave it like this. Or you know what I wanted to do, actually I want to do this lock set knot here on the side. That was my original plan. I will just do a wire wrapped loop there. I did it in the opposite direction. So now there we go. That's our lock set knot outside, and then I add these. Okay, and then take these two cords and thread these beads. Because I don't have glue here, that's why it's difficult to put it. I'll just glue this end also and try to put this through. So here I got these two cords through the roundel bead, and then what I'm going to do is basically tie an overhand knot. We have two short cords, so with both cords it's a difficult task. So I'm just going to tie an overhand knot with these two cords apart. One more. And if you want, you can actually open this up a little bit and leave it. So I kind of really like the way it looks, and probably I will open this up and do it, so that way it's nice and neat. So that's what I wanted to do here, but it wouldn't look good, I guess, right? So actually that's the way it should look. That's pretty. So, and this one comes and locks here like a toggle clasp, but I want this to dry for now. And I hope you guys like this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification. I do upload videos almost every day. It comes around 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks so much for watching. I will leave down in the description box below a very nice picture of this necklace so that you can have a clear idea of what it is. I know it's a very big statement necklace, as you guys can see. It's a nice piece, a nice statement necklace that we have here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up. Thank you. Bye bye.